Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Hello, everybody. We're here to debut our podcast tonight, Taps In, and I'm Tanisha, and I have two co-hosts, Asaranga, also known as the Urban Goddess, and Champ. And tonight we're going to be talking about who you are at your core and the context of birth charts and why knowing your birth chart is important to know yourself. And so I'll give a couple minutes for Champ to introduce himself, and then we'll talk with Asaranga, and we'll get into this topic of birth charts.
Hello, everybody. I'm Champ, the unapologetic gentleman that speaks on several topics.
All right, and I am Osaranga, also known as the Urban Goddess. I am an intuitive reader, birth chart reader, Reiki healer, and doula. So I do a lot of little different things. But yeah, I'm grateful to be here tonight and to collaborate and build with these beautiful people. So yeah, let's go ahead and tap on in.
So let's tap into birth charts. And thank goodness Champ has agreed to have a live reading today. So we pulled up his chart, and Asaranga is going to go over that. And before we get started with that, I would share that one of the most important components of finding your birth chart and knowing your birth chart is knowing your time of birth. Your time of birth is important because it sets your houses, and it also details one very important placement, which is your ascendant sign. Your ascendant sign is who people see you as. Mm-hmm. So your ascendant is who you are presented as in the world initially. So it's very important to have your birth time when doing your birth chart. If you don't have your birth time, that's fine. It's a good start, but eventually you will want to dive deeper, and that would include having your birth time. So I know that Champ's birthday, I believe, is
October 29th, 1976.
okay. All right. Thanks for all the information.
Ain't no shame, my guy.
So Asaranga, what placements do we have?
Okay, well, first, I would like to explain what birth charts is, for people who are unfamiliar.
That'd be great.
So a birth chart is pretty much, the way I like to describe it is like a screenshot of the stars at the time, the location, and the date that you were born. So the phrase that's most commonly used is as above, so below. So as above, you have different placements where the sun is placed, where the moon is placed, where Mercury, Saturn, these different planets. Those planets also influence who you are internally. So your emotions, your career, your love life, your money, how you interact with people, how you express yourself, is all detailed in the stars as well. So it's a great tool for self-awareness, to better know yourself. And with knowing yourself, you can help to master yourself and work through your challenges better. So let's see. For your birth chart. Okay, so the birth chart, it contains 12 houses. Each house represents a sign. So it's real heavy, astrology.
So the 12 houses mean like your attributes?
Yes, each house has a different characteristic and energy. So yes, every house will detail something different about you. So I'm going to just give you your basics, which is the sun, the moon, and the rising, which is also the ascendant
Do the
sign.
Mars, too. And maybe in Venus.
Yeah, I'm going to go deeper into those. So for you, as you said, your birthday is October the 29th. Based upon the time and the location you were born, your sun sign is in Scorpio. So the sun sign is who you are at the core. That's your main energy. Yeah. Okay, so you are a Scorpio at your core. Okay, the ascendant is where the sun was at the horizon at the time you were born. So for you, the sun was horizon at Scorpio. I mean, No, Aquarius. I'm so sorry. That's Aquarius. So you have an Aquarius rising. So that's the mask, and that's what you present to people. So
So
people see an Aquarius energy. Although you're a Scorpio, you present or project out an Aquarius type of energy. So that could come off, um, very people like, they're about the community, but they're also very detached from their emotions. So it's like I love everybody, but don't get too close to me.
That's
You know?
close. That's close to accurate.
Yeah. And then for you as well, you have your moon in Aquarius. So that's how you express your emotions as well. So even with your emotions, it's like, I could love, I got love for the community. I got love for my people, my friends, but maybe like in interpersonal relationships, you may like close off, or
You
it may
like
just
more
feel
reserved.
worn. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, you may feel uncomfortable sometimes expressing yourself.
Yes.
So this is
You
all.
on track? You on track so far?
Okay. So this is all located in your first house. The first house is about the self-image.
Yes.
So this is what everybody sees, which is that Aquarius energy. Okay. Let's see, what else can we dig on? Okay, so your sun sign, which is Scorpio, you have that in your ninth house. The ninth house is the house of spirituality, higher learning, and travel. So you have that with your north node, which is your purpose. You also have your Mercury there, so that's how you communicate. All in Scorpio, again in the ninth house, dealing with spirituality and higher learning. So you tend to want to speak about topics that are probably above most people's head to make them think.
You right on the money. I have a lot of difficulty with people, what I'm saying, talking about subjects that, gradually escalate, and then they'll stop here, and I'm just continue going.
Yes.
Then it's just like, they just they're deaf tone to everything I'm saying after a certain level.
That is definitely you. You also have Mars there, so that's where your passion is. So your drive is there. Like you really like headstrong on like I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna keep going. Like this is my purpose.
Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to do. So that's all associated with who you are at your core because it's there with your sun sign. Okay, so you got heavy Scorpio energy. Okay.
Pretty much accurate so far.
Okay. Let's see. In your third house, which is the house of communication, you have your Chiron there.
So what does Chiron mean?
Chiron is an asteroid, and it is the wounded healer. So this is where maybe in previous lifetimes you may have experienced emotional wounds. So maybe, or even maybe in your childhood, like maybe people may have tried to shut you down for talking, or silence you a lot. Which caused a wound with you. So throughout the years, you've tried to master that and heal yourself from that. And this is where you ultimately excel at. This is where you become that healer. Okay, so when it comes to communicating, that's where you have your Chiron, and you also have your Black Moon Lilith, which deals with the unconscious or like the darker side of things. So you will talk about subjects that most people won't even dare touch.
Yeah, taboo
You know.
topics.
Very much so. It's more like because I'm a more open, transparent person, so it's like I'm not too much scared of people judging me. So I'll just speak on it. So that will make other people uncomfortable for the fact those are topics that they won't speak on comfortably. So I don't have no problem speaking on it. Then they'll feel uncomfortable because now they can't exchange.
Or
the
that
same
your opinion might make them uncomfortable because it's not what they agree with. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they may want to they may live by something a certain way, and then your opinion of the way that they live. They didn't say nothing, right? But they just it makes them feel guilty.
A lot of it has to do with it. A lot of people thinking and beliefs are doctrine into them. You know what I'm saying? Versus I'm more of an open-minded, free thinker. So when I speak on things, I'm speaking on my own belief system that wasn't doctrine into me, that I came within my own, doing my own learning myself versus now I'm speaking to a person.
Versus people
that
who say,
hasn't-
lead not to your own understanding.
Yeah, and that's
right on the money.
that's a really good example of Lilith and the influence and characteristics of Lilith, because she does dictate your level of independence.
So what does Lilith mean?
Lilith is what we're speaking about in your third house that creates that ability.
Oh, not
to
just like
speak
on the
with,
definition. Of
Oh
like,
well,
yeah.
the story of Lilith, right? Now, we gonna this one to get interesting. The story of Lilith that many don't know, especially those in Christianity, is Adam had a first wife, and her name was Lilith. And so the allegory, it spoke about in the Torah and in Jewish teachings and texts. But Lilith was cast from Eden, and they say for a lot of different reasons she didn't want to submit unto Adam. One of the things that they say is Lilith actually didn't want to be, got tired of Adam being on top, and she wanted to be on top, and they figured that she was being dominant, and she was cast from Eden for that reason.
Oh, wow.
And so that is what Lilith is all about, a little more independence, a little more dominance.
You need to find me a Lilith. No, but like, you know, like all jokes aside, but like when you started speaking, like when you was like Christianity, outside of Christianity, when you spoke about Lilith, right? So when I called my mom, asked her when I was, you know, the time that I was born, when y'all asked me, like, you know, get the accurate reading at the time. So it surprised me that my mom, she's a Christian, Bible thumper, this and that. So when I spoke on astrology, she actually agrees with astrology. So when I was like, you agree with astrology? You don't think it's demonic? You know? But she was sitting there talking about the original astrology and not the
What we use,
evolve or what they're doing, using it now for. Is like it actually coincides with Christianity. You know what I'm saying? With
A
the
whole
original
lot of
version.
people don't even realize it, right?
Yeah. You know, even like the
the
story of
S-U-N
Zeus.
is really the S-O. I mean, the sun is the sun.
Yeah,
Literally.
Right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
The 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs.
In the houses.
The story of Zeus, everything, what I've learned when I was younger, you know, is parallel to the story of Jesus. You know, so when she said that, that just threw me off. So then she was just like, you know, your cousin Sarita, that's what she graduated with a degree in astrology. She actually does that for a living right now.
Oh, nice.
I was like, what? So
The
you think she
resurrection and the death. It's the sunrise and the sunset. It's just.
Yeah.
We were talking about the S-O-N. He was talking about the S-U-N throughout the whole
The
Bible.
source.
Really,
Hey, and it's crazy when you say
But
that.
people don't know that.
When I was sitting there watching the video, and it was Ghostface, Capadonna, and they were talking about their language in New York, about the 5% is
look
how
like
they call
Capadonna,
it.
nigga.
They got the woke. So, you know, he was explaining that, like, people didn't understand why we slang and use son. Y'all was sitting there talking about S-O-N, we talking about S-U-N. You know, so when you said that, that just coincided and just wrapped a lot in my mind that looked at that interview in a whole different story. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to have this type of platform or topic based show, and is to kind of meld all of these ideologies and philosophies, because they all come down to one and the same.
Like Christianity is just
Right.
whitewashed African spirituality,
Yeah.
right? Imagine if you had you got the Wizard of Oz, right? You got the white one that came out first, and then the black. So imagine if the black one came out first. You know what I mean? And then the white one came out afterwards. But now they tricked us to believe that the white one came first.
Yeah, whoever can do the right to do
Well,
Well
that's
put.
actually what happened in history, where you had Christianity that was the actual black version, because it was Aramaic that was spoken then. When Jesus spoke Aramaic. It wasn't until the Romans and Greeks came and conquered Egypt that they changed it. With Constantine started writing the Bible, and then, you know what I'm saying, as it evolved over time, you know what I'm
There's
saying.
2,500 different versions of Christianity. Everybody had to write a new version of it to make it fit the lifestyle
All
that they
written
wanted
by
to live.
man.
Yeah.
Written by man, by the way.
Right. So
Versions of African, this is different versions of African spirituality. These are the books written by this person's story. This is this person's book that they wrote. And the God ain't said none of this. How do you know?
Yeah.
Was any of y'all there?
And astrology is heavily referenced in the Bible, and you could find it referenced in a powerful way. And because the first people to discover and explore and pretty much research astrology were the Chaldeans. And they had a king, Nebuchadnezzar, and all that is detailed in the Bible. When the wise men followed the North Star, that was an
The Chaldeans
astrology.
or the Egyptians?
No, it was the Chaldeans.
Chaldeans were the three kings.
It was the
And as they
Chaldeans.
sit there, you go to the story of
They-
Christmas, and they talk about the North Stars. The three kings were Chaldeans.
Chaldean is their language for astrologer, actually. So they were the ones who discovered or began to study and share that, information, disseminated that information as they traveled, and that is how they were able to discover the birth of Jesus at the time was through astrology.
And
Like-
even that goes a little deeper too, dealing with the three kings, or the three wise men. My bad, that showed up for Christ.
Yeah.
That's also symbolic of the Orion's belt, which is over the Egyptian pyramids, the three dots or stars in the sky, which connected the Egyptians or our ancestors to Source. So that was that coming over the winter solstice, which is Christ rising and dying at that time, and on the 25th day of December, and the wise men bringing in gifts. So. Metaphysically, it goes back and it gets deeper and it gets deeper. It's a rabbit hole, indeed.
Absolutely.
Like my father, he's West African, born and raised Sierra Leone, right? So when people learn that, I'm first generation over here, all my family that would be around. So they'd be like, first stereotype, African, they related to what? Islam, Muslim. Well, how was your father from Africa is not Islam, right? So he raised us as being free thinkers, open-minded. He never raised us to believe anything, but he just exposed us to everything, right? So then, in my mind, it's like, yeah, I'm listening to people, my peers around me. Oh, Islam, Africa, this and that, where Islam, Christianity, Judaism all originated in the Middle East, right? So it's like now, to my study, find out, okay, Christianity originated with Africans. You know what I'm saying? So when you see Africans studying Christianity, it's all about what you want to believe in. If you want to believe in Judaism, if you want to believe in Christianity, you want to believe Islam, all those are religions versus you being spiritual.
They are Abrahamic.
Yeah, so if you spiritual, it's your relationship with that higher power, whatever name that you want to put on.
African spirituality was about us being connected with the earth and the universe and shit.
Exactly.
And it wasn't about us following and worshiping any of these deities while we read books and tell us not to worship deities.
But even like the Islam, they know that you ever see Islam, they practice doing business with everybody. They practice doing cultural interaction and trading, bartering, this and that with all cultures. You know what I'm saying? Without, okay, I trade with you, I barter with you, this and that. Understand, I respect yours, but you're going to stay over here, I stay over here. You know what I'm saying? Where we have segregation, we can coincide with each other with segregation. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at astrology will actually form everybody to be together. Granted, your belief right now, what was doctored in your head.
Yeah.
If you go back to Egypt, and you can read hieroglyphics, and it was like 3 other languages that was on that stone that spoke about astrology.
Yes.
Once you start understanding that, it actually will create everybody to get along, everybody to interact with each other. But you are entitled with your belief system over here. You're entitled to your belief system. But when you understand how these stars, quasars, and planets lined up, this is your purpose on this earth.
Yeah.
Yes. That is a very good point.
What Asa was sitting there saying is like, as I sit there reading to your birth sign, and these are your attributes, and it really is pinpointing, this is your purpose, this is the reason why you're here. You know what I'm saying? So it takes you out of your environment telling you or influence you, your belief system, versus this is actually science right here, or spirituality telling you this is who you are. And if you practice that, you'll sit there and see success in your life. You'll sit there and see quality in your life, satisfaction, enjoyment, more than you would ever expected. But you have to be open-minded. You have to open the doors to receive it.
Absolutely.
And once you receive it, you will feel that burden just come up off
Yes.
your chest.
Yes.
Right, because you could be you could be putting
You could be
a
fighting
lot
it.
of effort into one thing that's not even.
That's not for you.
That's not for you.
Because
right?
you're trying to satisfy with that society telling you what you're supposed to be,
And
versus
going by your core and what's in your chart and your north node and what your purpose is, and going by that opposed to what someone else or society is telling you, or molding you or pushing you to be. Is you here for a reason, and it helps you discover what that even and birth charts are all we talking about sunshine and glory, but it also talks about those past lives and that trauma, them generational curses that you are born with. And your Saturn talks a lot about the generational curse you're born with that's been placed upon you, and how you have to how you can break free from that, because it does the Indians carry astrology a lot, and they do get into those specific type of placements, those negative placements that's going to keep you from being successful, that's going to cause you to lose your wealth at some point, that's going to cause you to be, these things line up to cause you to be an arrogant person, and one day you a risk taker, and and you're gonna have money, but one day because of these things you're gonna lose that money. That all that is detailed in the birth chart.
When people say about curses, I don't really believe in curses. I believe that understand that those are your trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying, for your purpose. You know what I'm saying, reason why you're here, this and that.
Yes.
The intelligent higher power, they're gonna put you through steps, not for what you want, but what they want, because what they want is actually going to multiply to affect other people around you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, we are selfish people. We're gonna look at what we want versus understand what the universe has you here for. And as you sit there and follow that path, you'll sit there and see you're going to be rewarded in the future. So it comes with trials and tribulations. Like you can't experience joy without pain. You can't experience pain without joy. You can't experience sadness without happiness. You would never know the difference between the two. Light
wouldn't exist without darkness.
Exactly. Like you ever seen the Truman Show with Jim Carrey? Life was repeated, and it was a constant, and it was bothering him. It was just like, it's just more to life. You know what I'm saying? Every day was a rerun for him, and he kept on trying to find something more about life, because now his unconscious mind is contacting his conscious mind. His unconscious mind is contacting his social mind. Like, look, it ain't right. And he just didn't know what it was and kept on fighting and fighting. It's the same thing with us. It's like, now you start explaining our...
That's why that movie is so deep and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you speak on astrology is going to set you free of those struggles.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Because you'll start explaining your attributes, you know what I'm saying, your purpose, and then you come with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that, so I know I'm going to have a struggle in this area. I know I'm going to struggle with this area. The attribute going to be like, oh, you're this type of person. So when you encounter this type of person, it's going to be a struggle. But telling you what your powers and your...
power in knowing that, right? Because when you walk in that door, what you facing, I got to...
So use the tools or the attributes that was told about you to encounter those challenges.
Even, especially that 10th house, because I have Virgo in the 10th house, and I love it.
What
and
is that?
10th house is your house of work.
No, what is your 10th house?
Virgo, I have Virgo in my 10th house.
So what does that mean?
It means that I'm a hard worker.
See, now y'all know y'all fucking houses and streets and blocks and shit.
We on 7 Mile Radio. We on 7 Mile.
No, I want to know mine now and shit. Like,
are we getting around to it? See.
All I need is your time of birth and your birthday.
Oh, see, everything about me, and mine gonna be interesting because everything about me is sevens, right? My birthday is 727.
Oh, nice.
What that mean?
Right. Well, I'm just like my birthday, July 27th.
Yeah,
but everything.
But numerology, number 7.
Yeah,
you have a whole master
divine.
number 7.
Yeah, everything about me damn near got to do with the number 7. I was born in 81. 8 minus 1 is 7. Right. My address, I ain't gonna say it on the air, but y'all see it. A bunch of 7s and shit. I'm on 7 Mile in Van Dyke. It's 7 letters in Van Dyke. Right. My gene size is 34.
Now you're talking about the Da Vinci Code.
And 7 Mile Radio, my business.
Yeah.
My son's is even, you know what I mean? My first son was born in July 2016. 6 plus 1 is 7.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I firmly believe in all the
that's
numbers,
God
because
energy.
everything is science and
That's
numbers.
7s and 2s is all, and then my second son that was just born was on February 2nd. On 2023, which is, add that together, that's 7.
February 2nd.
I'm a firm believer in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, computers was created by a man, right? So for whatever reason, something went in that man's mind to create computers, right? And they created computers on a binary code. You know what I'm saying? Zeros and ones. That's an infinite number. You know what I'm saying? So in the universe, all of us collectively are operating on infinite numbers. You know what I'm saying? And as you sit there and see the Matrix, there you go. You know what I'm saying? It's art that imitates life.
This is our first show.
Listen,
we going everywhere. We going everywhere.
Me and my brother was sitting there talking about it, and I was sitting there explaining it. It's like, I believe in all the numbers and everything coincide, because there be so many coincidences in our life that deals with numbers, right? So it came from my homeboy Lanny. He was just like, man, I wasn't good at math. I never used algebra. I never used trigonometry. And I'm like, you use it every day, because algebra is solving for the unknown. So when you're speaking with astrology, if I give you this attribute, So if I sit there and say, this is your house, so that could be X and Y equals 12, right? So I could solve for Z if it was X plus Y, Z. The Z is the unknown, but here's the outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I can understand why
Deduction.
by using algebra methods. You know what I'm saying? Because like anytime you had a math assignment, what did it say? 1 through 15 exercise, 1 through 15 practice. So you have to sit there and practice everything that you do, every attribute that you have to practice that. You have to master it. Once you master it,
But you know, let me say this because we already discussed a topic list, and when you're talking about people with like dyslexia and attention deficit, they really don't see numbers in algebra that way. So you
actually they do. They see it. They see it,
but it's kind of complicated for some people.
I'm gonna give you a perfect. I'm gonna give you a perfect
So
example.
off topic.
No, you're on topic because we watched
just
that
got
movie.
deep
We watched,
into it.
we watched
It just got deep into it.
Right.
We watched that movie Rain Man, right?
Yeah.
He was autistic, right? But he was a master in numbers, right? Him being a master in numbers taught Tom Cruise a whole lot about life. You know what I'm saying? Because he used that method on numbers and how he just net with life. Like, you know, I'm going to solve.
It's logic.
I'm going to solve for the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do those numbers and solve for the unknown, and he can apply it to life. And that was like the underlying message in that movie. Was just like he was a master in numbers, but you could that method that you find that define the unknown with numbers is the same thing you can use in life. So he can pretty much pinpoint, this is where you're going wrong. This is why you this person and why you this person. You know what I'm saying? But you my brother, I'm going to still love you. You
so even through numbers, you can find self-awareness, right? And
but,
that is numerology. That is the study of numbers and how you have a master number, a life path number. And I guess we'll have to have a show on that one day too. But and you know how to calculate your number, your master number, and your life path number, and things like that. We'll definitely discuss that one day because it is a whole topic and how that, you can arrive at those numbers by using your name and alphabet, or you can use your birth year. So that is definitely a topic that we will be discussing. And I'm just so surprised at how the topic on birth charts has really taken us all around, right? And I'm kind of impressed by our discussion. I'm really kind of impressed with my co-hosts. They are, they well versed. They are well versed, and I'm really impressed with you guys. And
I like to interact the conversation because it's actually a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sitting there talking about knowledge, son, and all that, this and that, and wisdom, this and that. But it means nothing without application, right? So when y'all speaking, if y'all say a word that I don't understand, I ask for a definition so I can, know the whole context of it. So now when I leave from here, I can actually apply it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just a person, this and that. Like, then I go to the next person, like, I'm going to sit there and tell you this, and that, right? But I can't really give you the full essence of me telling you unless I'm actually applying it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to feel the vibrations of me talking to you or the passion that I'm sitting there talking to unless I'm actually applying it and using it. You know, how many times y'all done had a job and a supervisor sitting there telling you and it's just Charlie Brown teacher, right? Versus you had another experience with a supervisor, like, damn, I'm really feeling the supervisor. They talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because they actually experienced and actually apply the knowledge and can explain to you way deeper than what it is. So like what you said, it's like we started with one topic and then it actually got deep because we're actually a collective people that actually is using the knowledge and applying it actually in life. So that, the vibration is there. Just like you go in any room, you can feel vibes. You feel vibrations. You know what I'm saying? It's like I see you with the chakra rocks out. Man, that's my thing right there.
Thank you.
That's my thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, my shower head in my house have chakra rocks.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? I really believe in energy, you know what I'm saying, and vibrations. And it was just like, I knew about it, but I was down in Atlanta, and we was in Little 5 Points, shopping, this and that.
But that's your ninth house we talked about.
What's
the
that?
knowledge of spirituality and spiritual things. That's your ninth house.
And that's where he dominates. So.
I'm down there, just on some humbug to shop. And it was like, okay, we go into the chakra store, right? And it wasn't until after 10 minutes being in there, I felt like something. It was just like, couldn't really explain it, this and that, right? So I didn't put too much thought to it. I shot, bought me some shop rocks, some names, this and that.
Why you paying attention to me?
You guys be taking a picture.
You know what I'm saying? So like for like example, right? Like this how I was like so much I'm a firm believer, right? So I don't know. I was probably doing some nasty stuff or whatever, right? So my chain
I
had
was gonna
broke,
say
right?
something else about your birth chart. I'm gonna say something nasty about it.
Oh,
Right.
dealing with that Scorpio?
Dealing with that
what
Aquarius.
happened was-
Oh, okay. I'm here for it.
What happened was it broke, right? And I was like, I can't find no shops to actually fix it, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I always like to keep it close to me. So I was like, if I put it in my wallet, it's going everywhere with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm rough on everything I have. Like the bracelets I had, the rings I had rough, the rocks that fell out. Even now when it comes down to the necklaces, being rough and stuff, I'm a man, so I'm rough on stuff, right? So I was just like, I got to keep this stuff close because of the experience that I had, right? So it was like, going back to when I was in Atlanta, I left that store, then I was going to like other several stores, right? And it was just like, the type of hospitality I was getting, it was just like, it was something different. So what's causing this different hospitality? So we going to an African store, right? And usually, you know how Africans act towards African Americans. They're going in the store. They know that they're going in there just for a trend. But it was a whole different hospitality without even me sitting there speaking to this lady about, you know what I'm saying, my
Ancestors.
who I am, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, so after a while, she's sitting there talking like the hospitality you had, it was genuine. You know, I wasn't used to this until I was sitting there and telling like, my father's born and raised in Sierra Leone. You know what I'm saying? I'm already hip to the culture, the dishes, everything, this and that, right? So then now it's a whole nother warm welcoming that I didn't experience. So I was just like, I go right back to that store that, you know what I'm saying,
Sold you
having
that
these
stone.
rocks that, you know what I'm saying, but this whole area got it just because of that store. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the artists in the streets. I'm going to the stores. And
So
talking
that energy is emanating.
Man, it was
that energy
just,
is emanating. That whole community.
man, the whole community. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I give it all to that store, that whole little 5 points of line. It's this store right here. And then as I come home, I wear it, and I'm just like, and I just tell everybody, look, it's all about energy. If you got bad energy, stay away from me. But I have tools to keep that bad energy
Tools.
from me.
They are tools.
You know? So when I sit there and see you have all that, I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that already gives the aura inside the room without a person to even have to put forth towards it. You know what I'm saying? I already gonna show the energy. You have to block it, not to accept it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as a person that wants to receive good energy and good vibe, it's already gonna come to you. Cause like I'm so animated about like we have to exchange energy because someone will drain you.
Yes.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Like leeches.
Boy.
Man,
Those unaware people that don't know what's going on their birth chart,
Yeah.
they are leeches. Like
Especially
knowledge
when somebody
of-
who has
burdensome. You
a
burdensome to
naturally
people.
welcoming spirit and energy. I
Exactly.
mean, there's a lot of energies that look for that as prey. You know what I mean?
Right,
Latch
because they don't
themselves
know
onto
themselves.
and drain.
yeah.
They don't know where their power is. But something I was going to say about your birth chart having the ascendant and moon in Aquarius. I read a book. I've lived in Philly before, so I know.
Yeah, when
I
you
was
told
in
me you
Philly.
love Philly, I'm just waiting to have that conversation. Like, what you know about Philly?
Yeah, I
we
lived
the
in Philly a few years
man,
on Sears
the
Street
belly
and
of the
Fourth.
beast.
4th and Sears Street. I live in
Where?
in the 4th and Sears Street. I live by South Street. I live in like by
Yeah,
the
you in
Italians.
South, yeah, by
Yeah, I
the
live
Italian.
by
You
the
in South Philly,
Italians.
like, man, my uncle already stayed down there. We don't.
We lived in.
don't
It
mess-
was bougie. It was bougie.
Nah, man. Yeah, because it's like me and my mom was talking about last night. It was just like how Philly honors Rocky Balboa, a statue of Rocky Balboa. But that's not the champion. Joe Frazier is from Philly. Why don't we acknowledge Joe Frazier that beat the best of all time?
They really got a fake Rocky Balboa statue in Philly.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yes,
fake
At
if
figure.
you go
at
to the
this
museum
museum,
down
you
there,
can run
it's
right
got
up
Rocky
there and touch
Balboa,
it.
right, and Joe Frazier down there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that just speaks a whole lot.
It's
That's a
right
whole
at the
nother story,
museum.
a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
So,
boy.
but I was gonna tell you
I want
about
to know your good
the.
experience in Philly. Why you love Philly?
No, I'm not gonna. We'll talk about that. I
Yeah.
just had so Philly was just awesome. This is the
Yeah.
city of brotherly love, right? I
No
got
more.
a lot
They
of
took it
love.
off the license plate.
Oh, that's a
It's
shame.
no more.
That's a
Damn.
Let's still on
shame.
Philly jerseys though.
Philly
NBA.
is equipped right now. Philly is equivalent to Chicago.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so.
It's that
Well,
bad.
it's been going. It's been trending that way.
Yeah.
But far as your birth chart and your moon and ascendant, when I was speaking about living there, because I bought a book called I can't remember exactly what it's called. What it's called, like Freaky Astrology, or something like that. And I probably still had a book in my attic. And it says that Aquariuses are into like group sex and orgies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, would you
He's
have?
I'm not going to object. You know what I'm saying?
So, with you having those placements, I could see you living
I'm very
out of the box
yeah.
lifestyle in such
Right.
a way.
So,
Speak on
like,
that
yeah,
a
I'll be
little bit.
on
Speak on
that,
that a
but I'm
little
like
bit.
more reserved about it because it goes right back to it has to be like energy and vibes for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care for just like random or casual sex with anybody because you have that one-on-one and people will strip you from your energy. You know what I'm saying? You done had sex with people and then once you're done and it was just like a bad aura right there. You don't know why. You know what I'm saying? What it is, it's just that person has something that's negative about you. Might not know. It's like I'm not gonna go into why I don't know. Is there and I don't care to be around it no
I can
more.
relate.
So it's like like if we'll speak on lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Like with the lifestyle, it starts with a meet and greet where everybody get comfortable with each other and this and that. You know what I'm saying? So you can start a meet and greet with 50 people, and then the next party is gonna be 25 people because everybody didn't vibe, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So then if it goes into a sexual nature, you know what I'm saying, everybody has to feel comfortable. And feeling comfortable comes with vibration, it comes with energy. That, you know what I'm saying, we one-on-one, we're doing some extracurricular sexual to enjoy ourselves, this and that, you know what I'm saying? But it comes to a point that I'm doing it for me to enjoy and also for you to enjoy. I'm not a selfish person that I'm just not coming into it that I'm just enjoying myself. I'm not going to fully enjoy myself unless I know the other person enjoying themselves. So if you're in a group, you imagine how much, you know what I'm saying, concentrated energy is in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to this person, ooh, that energy. I went to this person, ooh, this energy. You know what I'm saying? And that person is doing the same thing. Like, ooh, I went to this person, this energy. And it doesn't really have to go to the extent of a climax or orgasm, but it was just the interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be in that room. Oh, yeah, we was just over here. You
So
know what
I
I'm
guess
saying?
the book is true, huh? Are you saying the book is true?
Yeah, I should be the author of that book. Let me write my book.
And then even what he's saying right now, like looking at his chart, with him having his moon in his first house with Aquarius, that's speaking about his intuition and like how that connection works with that. So he's on point with everything in his chart. Like you intuitively feel your way through it. So if it don't feel right,
it don't feel right, man. I've been like that all my life. It's like it was like when I was young and getting in trouble and stuff like that. For the first time I catch a case or whatever, I'm younger. And my mom sit there and told me, you gotta choose your friends. Don't let your friends choose you. That was your homeboy.
What's in his 11th house with his friends?
His 11th house actually is clear.
Oh,
you have no planets there, but you do have the energy of.
That nigga say, fuck friends. Ain't nothing there.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing there.
Actually, it means that he's mastered that house already in previous lifetimes. So you have no karma or anything that you have to accomplish dealing with friends.
Is that
like
what
you
it
already.
means when you have empty house?
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you have it in the energy of Sagittarius. So
That's way
that's
outgoing.
that fire energy. So you still like see like your focal point and like go directly to it. So like no distractions. I'm going straight to it.
Yeah.
And then you have
lose
Capricorn
a lot of friends
there.
like that,
so a
too.
lot of work. You work there a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all about business
Work for your
negotiating, but you
friends.
focused about that work.
Yeah. That man. I lose
We
so
live
many.
in a lot of same houses, sound
Man.
like.
I lose a lot of friends with that tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I tell them, it's like it's nothing about you personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell you a bad person, but in line with me, you don't fit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
Then they take that as a slight, like, do you think I'm better? But actually, yeah, I do, and that's why I'm not gonna say that as if I think you're beneath me, but where I'm going, you don't fit into this like a puzzle, right? It's a puzzle,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
And
better
there's
in my
It's okay.
lane than you would
intricate
be.
And it's
pieces.
okay.
You have to be an intricately cut piece
Yep.
to fit into this puzzle to
Absolutely.
make the
Yes.
picture
Absolutely.
the right. If you and I know the picture that I'm painting.
Yeah.
If I
Right.
know that you ain't cut right,
Yeah.
You're not cut right.
And that's my. And So that's why people don't understand why I be so open and transparent. So you understand where I'm coming from. So there's no miscommunication. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
the third house.
if we all speaking collectively together, you already know where I'm coming from. I'm not taking no half steps. I'm not shortchanging you on anything that I'm sitting there saying, and I'm unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing that I'm saying is with the intentions to make you feel uncomfortable, to intimidate you, to make you feel insecure. I'm telling you where I'm coming from. So if you feel that type of way, that's on you. That's not on me.
That's what you bring.
I can only
to the
control
table.
what I say. I can't control how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't correspond what I'm saying with the type
I
of
say it
time
like
that you
this.
on,
If what I'm telling you is offending you, then you offending yourself because I'm telling the truth.
man, all facts.
Mirror, mirror.
It's like if people sit there see me on Facebook, like I talk shit about women, right? You know what I'm saying? But Tanisha, know I'm like the most respectful man to women. In any surroundings, in any environment, you know what I'm saying? I was raised by queens. You know what I'm saying? I was raised, if this old woman smoking crack, to still treat her as a queen. You know what I'm saying? To understand people's, you know what I'm saying, life. You know what I'm saying? But still respect them as a person, right? So with that being said, it was just like, you know, I'm just say facts. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not going to woo you. I'm going to tell you facts by generally where we going with this feminism and all that, this and that. Like, you know the two women that I look up to? Felicia Rashad and Michelle Obama. You know why?
Beauty and grace.
Because their grace as a woman to interact in the world. They didn't taking male behaviors, you know what I'm saying, to be who they are. They took as being a woman and my role as a woman.
And they have similar spirits if you examine them and shit. They have
absolutely.
Kindred energy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm
Empress,
saying?
that Empress spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in a world that's ran by men, I'm not going to sit there and bring myself thinking that I'm equivalent to a man. I'm coming to that I'm a woman. So this is not a scoreboard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to match what I bring and what you bring, that we are equals in our roles. You know what I'm saying? Where a woman, it's like the James Brown song, it's a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman in it. Granted,
so you are really blessed to have such an integrated birth chart, because there's some people with really difficult placements, and like even like for me, I have some, I think they're difficult placements because my sun and my Saturn is in the 8th house together, and so that essentially meant that Saturn was not going to let me really grow into my individuality until I was at least 48 years old.
What did Saturn say?
Well, Saturn is a restrictive planet. It restricts whatever it touches. Like it slows the growth. And so it usually takes you more time to develop your individuality. And so most people don't really, with Saturn near the sun, don't really come to a place of really recognizing or being able to walk in their individuality until at least like 40 years old.
But
Can I
You
add
can
on to that?
add on to that.
Saturn is known as like the father energy, so it's a very disciplinary energy, and it deals with lessons.
Like,
So,
I can't just
it's
it's so hard for me to just like, you'll probably never really see me dance out real hard. You know, some people just have fun. I could never do that. I feel so restricted. I'm so restricted in such ways. Like, you never see me do a lot of stuff just because I'm naturally restricted from doing those. Even if I want to, like, damn, I wish I get up.
But look, watch this.
Work it out
in
right
public,
now.
but if she's at the crib by herself when the right song come on, she gonna be gyrating all in them.
I'm gonna touch on that. I'm gonna touch on that. But understand that those were the steps to build who you are.
Yes.
So in those latter years, right, how much are you gonna be able to impress upon people and tell them, because it puts you in this lane, because while you're reserved, you're learning a whole lot.
It makes me reserved.
You know what I'm saying?
It makes
So
me
then you get to a
reserved.
stage when you come around people, you build knowledge and wisdom, but most people didn't build because they were distracted.
It makes me wise.
You was undistracted, you know what I'm saying, with your discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Those are
So,
good
I'm going
points.
back to-
Because, like I said, I think it's a really hard,
Because why you said that, right?
placement.
When you first time you came over my house, we was sitting there you know what I'm saying, having game night, right? So you had your girlfriends, this and that, right? So we playing games and it's theirs, this and that. So the girlfriends, she was just like, you know, it comes her turn to do the dare. Then the girlfriends was sitting there saying like, no. And Tanisha turned around like, I'm my own person. I'm going to do what I want to do. And they was more reserved. They was sitting in the living room and wasn't even playing the game. She took, you know what I'm saying, on her own to sit at the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm peeping this. It's like, she, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. That's true, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody, you
So-
can't make me do nothing.
Right,
I mean,
and
I can
that-
sit at the table.
That had an impression on me that
Like-
her friends didn't influence her on her own decisions. She made
Yeah.
her own decisions, and she addressed them about that. So they sit there, they sitting there, all this and that, right? So, you know, but this was her first time over there, and she, you know, because she was pretty much reserved, sitting around, and she was just looking around, like, everybody having fun, then it came around her turn. You know, she was sad about it, be like, okay, I'll do it. You know, it was just, you know what I'm saying, kissing a gentleman, you know, so it was nothing, you know, serious. I was like, you know what, I like her, because regardless of the peer pressure, she was her own person. It made her own decision. You know what I'm saying? And then as she come around, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't fall in peer pressure.
That's power.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like she's not scared to speak on it. Say, granted, she's subtle when she speak. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have to be aggressive or assertive. It's like, no, I'm gonna sit there and tell y'all, you know, it is what it is. Just,
Where's your Mercury, by the way?
My Mercury, I believe my Mercury is in the 3rd house, and it is in Gemini.
In the house of
so
communication.
that is a good point of my.
And in the
that's
sign
a-
of communication.
Yes, that's a good point of my chart. That's
Okay.
one of my good. That's one of my good attributes.
Okay.
I got Gemini in the 3rd house.
Okay.
what's that mean?
So it means I'm a good communicator.
Yeah, I
Gemini
agree with that.
rules communication.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes me a good communicator.
So I wanted to add or elaborate on one more point in his chart, which is his 10th house. The 10th house is the house of public image. So listening to you speak, I've been hearing you, talking about, like your wishes, your dreams. Like I can tell that being on the forefront has always been a dream of yours.
Yeah.
And then you also have your Venus there, which is the planet of love. So this is something that you truly love to do when you do it from the heart. Okay, so this is what you are meant to show to the world. Okay.
I believe that.
Yep. So you
what I'm
like
saying?
everything you're doing right here, right now, sitting here, even with her communicating and speaking, and being as poised as she is and disciplined and with power, like y'all are living in y'all design,
Well,
and that's the
praise
beautiful thing
God.
about birth charts.
And it took me, I'll say about, I'm 46, so it took me about 35 to really actually grasp that. You know what I'm saying? So it really like, come out the shell. Like, I'm unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? I know all my intentions is good. You know what I'm saying? Other people might not see it because they'll be very
Biased.
objective and biased of what I say because of whatever doctrine in their head and how they view and see things. I can't control that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, so granted, this is not for you. This for more open-minded
Right.
people, free thinkers, this and that, and they can make their own beliefs or their opinions on what I say. I'm not trying to dictate or persuade anybody what I say. I'm going to speak the facts. You take it however you want because that's how I was taught. I take the facts and I create my own belief system. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, I can be in a room of 20, 50 people and everybody have their own belief system and it's going to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my belief system. So I can't knock you for yours. I can't knock you or disagree why you don't agree with me. We can agree to disagree respectively, but your disagreements can teach me something.
Yeah, because
And that's
now
real
I need
important.
now I need to do some, now I need to look it up. I don't
that's
agree
one of the
right
problems. That's one of the big problems with the world when we come to debates or discussions that we can't
Mm-hmm.
come to the grounds of agreeing to disagree. We try to like beat somebody into believing how we think, or
Yeah.
or they wrong, right?
Because
I mean,
they're
it's just like
combative, they're confrontational.
everybody has different
Because gotta
tastes.
think like
Everybody
me.
have different tastes
Do it
on
this
everything, right? Your favorite food is different than my favorite food, right? How
Right.
you think about something like the different shirt that we wore today. It's like everything. If we was all thinking and acting and dressing and eating all that one way,
would be a
how
boring
bland
world.
would
It'd be a
Be
boring.
like the Truman Show.
I got even one better. It's like relationships. Oh, we got everything in common. Oh, we made for each other, right?
And don't
Do
even
you know
talk
how
about the-
boring your relationship
Wait a
would be
minute.
if you had everything it was in common?
exactly alike.
We go to the same movie. We'll go to the same place.
I
And you
know
know what
people by
happens?
birth chart who seem like they are dating themselves. Like you look at it because you do partner. It's called synergy.
Yeah.
And so you take two people. You
Well,
line
see,
their
and
birth
again,
charts up,
some that might
and
work
you
for some
see,
individuals,
you
right?
know,
Again,
Right.
it's
right?
different.
Those are the
see-
complacent
you
people.
See where those
They're comfortable being
placements
complacent.
are, right?
You know what I'm saying?
That is a topic as well
Yeah.
that we should maybe cover one
Absolutely.
day as
Yeah.
couples, because sometimes you're like, how are they even together? Like, what is the point? What is, and not only why are they together, what's keeping them together?
Being
And
complacent, they on
you
the same
finally
track.
you look at those birth charts and you'll find that those those
And I don't know, I
placements
don't
that
knock it.
bind them.
I'm happy for you because if that's making you happy, that's glowing you, that you can place, man, I'm with a person and we just got this common thing and this is what we do day in and day out and that's
Yeah.
what makes you satisfied, that's what makes you happy. I congratulate you. I'm happy for you. Not because I don't agree with it. Oh man, them people over there boring and this and that. No, it's not boring to them.
And you
It's exciting to them.
You will be surprised on how attraction works according to your birth chart, because you will find out why you attracted to who you attracted to. You already know why you attracted to these people. Like you like,
You
oh,
want to
okay.
tap into that a little bit?
We can't. We
Okay.
about to wrap
can.
up. We about
Okay.
to wrap up.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you because
On the next episode.
Yeah, on the next
Right.
episode, right? Yeah, you'll know why you're attracted to a person. Like, oh, they in my moon sign. I'm so dreamy about this person. But you know that's why you're dreaming about this person.
I never used that. You know what I used? It was a book that I read, The Art of Seduction.
We
read
talked
that
about
too.
Really
that. Yeah.
made me understand myself, made me understand women,
and
the
attraction.
whole nine. It wasn't that use the book as strategic, like I'm about to dominate these women, man.
Some people did, and some people do.
I actually read the
They're
book
like,
and
oh,
learned
this is
more
a
about
book
myself.
about manipulation.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
They're like, I'm about to learn how to manipulate people.
And granted, the author, that's what he's on because that's the same author.
People
who
watch
recorded
crime.
Lives of
That's
Power.
why people watch
Power.
crime TV all the time.
Learn how to
do
murder.
something. Like, whoa.
So, but wait, we got to wrap up. We got to wrap.
I know we gotta go. 1 minute.
We got 1 minute.
Keep going and
So we got 1 minute left, and I just want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Everybody who's gonna watch the show in the future. I hope we've presented the topic of birth charts in a way that is comprehensible.
I
and
learned something today.
understandable,
I learned a
and
whole lot.
yeah, and that'll send you to search your own. You can go to astro.com, put in your birth date, time, place where you was born. You can pull your own chart, start studying yourself, start learning yourself, and who
No,
you
I
are
want her to
at
come
your
back next
core.
week and tell
I
me
mean,
what
also-
block I'm on.
This is-
That's
she's
the
our
tip.
permanent
I need more
I do
conversation.
readings
with
though,
us.
so
Yeah.
you
And
can also reach out to
Yeah.
me at Urban Goddess, my business page. I do intuitive birth chart readings. So reach out to me if you're interested in that.
definitely-
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
'Cause
She's our
it's
permanent host.
me talking to her is gonna last more than an hour.
Oh yeah, these readings go
You know
deep.
what I'm saying? So it's gonna be in depth because when you're learning something, you know what I'm saying. I want you to continue teaching me. If you sit there and say something that I don't know, teach me. Then it, you know what I'm saying. It starts to evolve. You know what I'm saying. So now I'm in my place that I know I'm still reaching for.
It's the desire of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
whole
Man,
desire
you
that
just
sends
hit-
you on the
just hit-
path.
That's my
So
desire.
we are your host of Tapped In. This is Champ. I'm Tanisha
I'm Osaranga.
Osaranga, and we'll be back again next week. Hope you enjoy.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Good night.
Peace.
Good day.